There are lots of opportunities and different things to do on a Sunday morning, especially on this beautiful summer day, so I'm absolutely delighted that you chose to join us here in our house of worship. In standing as we do our unison affirmation, which is printed in your order of service, I invite you to join me in a time of prayer and meditation. To the Spirit that blesses us with all of life, we give thanks first for this summer day. We give thanks for the beauty that surrounds us out here at the end of the world. In the busyness and hurriedness of our day, may we all seek a time to rest, to simply cease our activities and pause to restore the sacred rhythm of rest. In these moments of peaceful and restorative rest, may our mind, our heart, and our souls be nourished and nurtured until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude. Our first reading this morning is a responsive reading. You'll find it in the back of your hymnal, responsive reading 547. It's entitled Summer Meditation. We'll have this half of the congregation read the bold print. This half of the congregation reads the italics part. I will go back and forth. Now blows the wind, the soft, relaxing warmth. Children swarm in the playgrounds and the streets. Eager city folk, vacation bound, crowd the broad highways. What of ourselves? There could be now deep peace, a time for soul searching. To sift the true from false in the things of doubt. The sun beats down. It is a time for pause. And shall not we? Here's the unfinished clay, half molded, that still waits on us. May it be so. Our second reading this morning is a poem by Reverend Lynn Unger entitled Camas Lilies. Consider the lilies of the field, the blue banks of camas opening into the acres of sky along the road. Would the longing to lie down and be washed by their beauty abate if you knew their usefulness? How the natives ground their bulbs for flour, how the settlers' hogs uprooted them, grunting gleeful, oblivion as the flowers fell. And you, what of your rushed and useful life? Imagine setting it all down, papers, plans, appointments, everything, leaving only a note, gone to the fields to be lovely, be back when I'm through blooming. Even now, unneeded and uneaten, the camas lilies gaze above the grass from their tender blue eyes. Even in sleep, your life will shine. Make no mistake, of course, your work will always matter. Yet Solomon in all of his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Here ends today's readings.
This is a little song by James Taylor, great American songwriter.
The secret of
life is enjoying the passage of time.
There ain't nothing to it.
All you gotta do is do it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're on the way down, might as well enjoy the ride.
The secret of love is in opening up your heart.
It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let it stand in your way. 'Cause everybody knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, might as well show some style. Hey, 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 give us a smile. Isn't it a lovely, lovely ride? Oh, sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. Just a lovely ride.
A lovely ride.
Now the thing about time is that time isn't really real.
It's just your point of view. How does it feel for you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. The planet spinning in space,
Planet spinning
and the smile upon your face. Well, welcome to the human race. Isn't it a lovely, lovely ride? Oh, sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. It's just a lovely ride. A lovely ride. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time.
Okay, sermon's done. You know, that was it's basically the message here, folks. Neil Rudenstein, president of Harvard University, overslept one morning. It was November of 1994. For this zealous perfectionist in the middle of $1 million a day fundraising campaign, it was cause for alarm. After years of intensive, non-stop toil and struggle in an atmosphere that continually rewarded frantic busyness and overwork, having been assaulted by the hail of never-finished tasks, President Rubenstein collapsed. That week, his picture appeared on the cover of Time magazine beside the one-word banner, exhausted. Exhausted. I wonder how many of us have ever felt that way. Exhausted. How many of us can relate to waking up in a panic because we've overslept or missed a meeting or an appointment or a major fundraiser? Okay, perhaps we're not presidents of Ivy League universities doing million-dollar-a-day campaigns, but we are teachers, preachers, business owners and operators, congregants, community people, and professionals. We are all hard-working individuals trying to juggle the many elements to this fast-paced life we have created for ourselves. And some of us on this beautiful spit of land we call home are retired, and yet we still find our days with overwhelming busyness and scheduling. Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, suggested that human life and liberty were intimately entwined with the pursuit of happiness. Happiness, not busyness. Instead, life has become a whirlwind in which speed and accomplishments, consumption and productivity have become the most valued of human commodities. As Mahatma Gandhi wrote, there is more to life than increasing its speed. So all of this begs the question, what are we doing? What are we doing to ourselves and our society if we are continually running after things, chasing after our goals, our dreams, our fortune, our relationships? It's like the story of Rabbi Levi, who saw a man running in the street and asked, "Why do you run so?" The man replied, "I'm running after my good fortune." Rabbi Levi tells him, "Silly man, your good fortune has been trying to chase you, but you're running too fast." And perhaps we're all running too fast, chasing our dreams, chasing relationships, going from one job to the next, especially in the summertime, or running to one meeting or one appointment after the other, always, always, always on the go. In some ways, it may feel like we are becoming the white rabbit. We're late for a very important date. Good luck getting down Commercial Street with that. There is a pervasive form of contemporary violence, writes Thomas Merton, and that is activism and overwork. The rush and pressure of modern life are a form, perhaps the most common form, of its innate violence. To allow oneself to be carried away by a multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects, to want to help everyone and everything, is to succumb to violence. To succumb to violence. I don't know, I've never thought of my busyness and overscheduling as a form of violence. Well, my day is full of scheduled appointments and those always important meetings that a minister has to be there for. I feel I'm doing my job, and I'm feeling doing a good job. I remember in my very first year of ministry, I thought I was so clever, and I'd schedule all my pastoral appointments in one day, back to back to back, but get them out of the way. By the end of that day, I was absolutely useless to anyone, especially myself. I would leave the church office in a fog and a daze and return home and simply collapse, exhausted. In our haste to succeed, in our haste to achieve, in our haste and hurry to move forward to the next goal or the next meeting or the next relationship or the next crisis, have we lost sight to that idea of rest? To rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist that headlong tumble into the next moment. Author Wayne Mueller claims in his book Sabbath Time, Restoring the Sacred Rhythm of Rest, suggests that we have lost this idea of a Sabbath. He states, while Sabbath can refer to a single day of the week, Sabbath can also be a far-reaching, revolutionary tool for cultivating those precious human qualities that grow only in time. If filling our time with busyness and hurriedness can become a kind of violence, then certainly our imaginative and creative thinking can stretch our perception to see that Sabbath time Sabbath time, effortless and nurturing rest, can invite a healing to this violence. Sabbath time is simply pausing for a moment, for an hour, 30 minutes, for a day, heck, for a week. Taking personal Sabbath time to restore one's spirit or soul from the frantic pace of everyday life. It's like the reading we read together this morning. What of ourselves? There could be now deep peace, a time for soul searching. We might turn to examine our own lives, to sort and probe our tendencies of thought. Have you ever just tried to stop and observe your mind? Observe your thoughts? I know for me, the first thing I find is the monkey mind. I am jumping from thought to thought, plan to plan, goal to goal. Or sometimes there's the wandering mind, drifting from what to wear and what to eat and what show to see. Occasionally there's a steadfast mind, focusing on the simplest task, the awareness of your own breath. Sabbath time is nothing more than allowing time and space for peaceful, calm reflection on who we are, what are our gifts, and how we may use these gifts to create more space and loving kindness in our own lives. And I love our second reading as it suggests how we may go about doing this work. Imagine setting it all down. Papers, plans, appointments, everything, leaving only that note. Gone to the fields to be lovely, be back when I am through blooming. It may be a while. This is truly opening and enjoying the passing of time. And it may be the secret of life. Taking the time to lie down in the fields and waiting to bloom. Taking Sabbath time. And yes, we do have that opportunity here as well, except rather than a field of lilies, we have all of this. We have all of this beauty, this amazing summer beauty, the sand, the sea, the people, the places. We have Provincetown. Go on to Provincetown to be lovely. Be back when I am finished blooming. Just this idea of going off to the fields to be lovely is Sabbath time. Remember to keep holy the Sabbath. For me, this definitely means more than going to church on a Sunday. Sabbath time is taking time, restoring that sacred rhythm of rest. Mueller writes that Sabbath time can be revolutionary to the violence of overwork, mindless accumulation, and the endless multiplication and desires, responsibilities, and accomplishments. I know last week I was up in Maine for a family reunion. It's my third time driving off Cape Cod in the summer. That is an accomplishment. My parents, God rest their souls, left us their retirement home in Kennebunkport, Maine. We gathered there once a summer with my 6 siblings, their families, and my nieces and nephews and cousins and their families with their kids. It's family time. It is exhausting. Exhausting. I found that if I took some time and walked down to the end of the road where there's a beautiful view of the bay, Cape Porpoise Bay, the boats, the lighthouse, and just sat there and looked out, just got lost in the beauty that surrounded me, and just sit, I was able to return to the family gathering refreshed, restored, and ready to take whatever my beloved family would throw at me. And trust me, I come from a family of throwers. Insults, sarcasms, and repeated Republican rhetoric. Exactly. My time looking out onto the natural beauty of the Maine coastline was going to the fields to be lovely. It was my time to regroup, to restore, replenish a withered spirit. It was my Sabbath time. So, my friends, allow yourself some natural and nourishing time for renewal and reflection. Make time in the busyness of your days to pause. Just pause and breathe in the beauty that is all around us, and find your own personal Sabbath time. The Tao Te Ching states it this way: do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? Can we simply slow down and breathe? And breathe again. And take some time for our heart, our mind, and our souls. A sociologist tells a wonderful story of a South American tribe that went on a long march day after day, when all of a sudden they would stop walking, sit down, rest, and set up camp for a couple of days before going any further. When she asked why they stopped to make camp, they explained they needed time to rest so that their souls could catch up with them. My friends, may you rest this week. Rest. Rest. And allow your souls to catch up. And then go to the fields. Go to the fields and be lovely. And heck, stay there a while. Blessed be, and amen.